Yo, for date night, we're at the bookstore and getting coffee, and I'm excited because I want to point out how many of these books I read because I'm having fun. I'm bragging, but I'll put a link below to all of my favorite books so you can check them out too. So I'm just randomly, this is not pre-planned. Alright, I've read this book, read this book, I've read this book, I've read this book, I have this book but I haven't read it. I've read this book. I read this book multiple times. I read this book multiple times. Okay, let's come up here. We'll go across the top. None of those. Wait, stay with me. I've read this book, this book, this book, and this book.
This orange blue, I'm not following you. You got to do it again.
What do you mean? Oh, I've read this book, this book, this book, and this book. Oh, I read this book. I've read this book multiple times. I've read this book, Power Broke by Damon John. I guess it doesn't matter unless I tell you what the books are. Should we start over from the beginning?
No.
All right, let's keep going.
Because there's too many. We need a bigger bookshelf.
So I'm going to go like all the way across. I read this. I read this. I've read this and the entire series of these, Traction by Gino Wickman, Get a Grip, and Rocket Fuel. I've read this book, Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. I've read The Lean Startup. I'm going to start speeding up. Oh, I read this book, Dan Martell, Buy Back Your Time. I've read at least 5 John C. Maxwell books. And I'll just go like this, Make Faster. Shoe Dog Night, Phil book by Phil Knight. I read that. I'm reading right now Phil Leone, 5 Dysfunctions of the Team, and his other book, Obstacles Away. That was a great book. That book got me out of depression in 2018. Made to Stick. I read that. Going through here. Read this one multiple times. I own all these books. I've read most of this one, some of that one. By Tim Ferriss, Tribe of Mentors. Alright, this is getting boring. Let me speed up. This one, I just read this one last year. It was amazing. Principles by Ray Dalio. Wow. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I read that book cover to cover. Good to great. That book was amazing and built to last. And he also wrote the other book, Why the Mighty Fall. Powerful book. And like 300 other books. Grant Cardone, read all his books. I'll put them all in a link below. It'll change your life, bro.
Can't hit the stop
She's like,
button.
you don't read anything? What did you say? She said, you don't read fun books?
That dish?